have
an eye on the
like
clock.
at least 40 minutes or something.
Oh,
40
perfect.
minutes would be
Right.
cool. Yeah, I just got to be out of here at like 10:25, 10:30, something like that.
Sweet. Can you say
Anytime.
something? Can you say something like really mean to us so we can get a good clip right now?
How dare you not laugh at all of my reels? I'm just kidding.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Counterculture Podcast. We are here with Miss Funny CrossFitter herself, Rebecca Fuselier. Is that how you say your last name?
Fuselier. You were close,
Fuselier.
close. Fuselier.
Fuselier. Okay. Awesome. Rebecca, for anybody that's watching this, how would you describe yourself? What do you do? Who are you? And why should people give a shit?
Oh my gosh. Wow. That's a loaded question just right off the bat. I'm a little bit of a weirdo because I like to be a little bit serious at sometimes and take my goals and my dreams in the CrossFit world very serious, and just not even just in the CrossFit world, just anything that I want to do.
Yeah.
Along with trying to be more lax, have fun, enjoy life. Always trying to find the balance of that. So you'll catch me one moment of just like dead serious, and in the other moment I'll be like happy-go-lucky. Don't take life so serious and everything. So a little bit of a weirdo going back and forth.
For sure. Okay, cool. So, hey, we looked at your page last night. You do a lot of really funny shit, but I also do see the seriousness side come out. Where do you, when on your page, how do you try to draw that line, or how do you try to like differentiate between the two things? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally. And it's literally anything I feel that day.
Okay.
It's the roller coaster of life. I think that everyone deals with that needs to be shown on social media a little bit more of, yes, we do have some really high highs that are awesome. Training's going well. We're having fun. We're shooting fun content and everything. And then there's the other side of things where if you have big goals and big dreams and everything, you have to get down, get a little dirty, get a little gritty. Some days are not as pretty. So whenever I post, some days it's all funny.
Yeah.
Other days it's not so much, and I try to just keep it real like that.
So where did you, obviously so she is a CrossFit Games athlete. You've been how many times?
I went 2 years as a teenager in 2016 and 2017, then had to work my way back up when I was in the adult division, and I made my debut in 2022 as an individual.
Sweet. So I'm super curious of like the mindset and how people actually get in the zone of like wanting to become a CrossFit athlete, like games athlete, right? Or just a professional athlete in general. Where does that mindset come from for you? Where did you kind of get that work ethic from?
I've always been a competitive athlete before this, competitive gymnastics, which is already like a very tough, like time-consuming sport where you're just doing a lot of strength, conditioning, and beating yourself up a little bit. So there's a part of me that's been trained to enjoy that, and I think it just fits my personality of just give me something, a hard challenge to do. And I think anyone who's just done CrossFit in general, whether you're competing at the highest level or whether you're trying to use it for health and fitness, you can say it's very, very hard, and it kind of stays hard because you keep pushing yourself to new extremes, new red lines, new boundaries and everything. So a little bit of just my background, but also the mindset of just, I want to try to do hard things. I want to do that.
Sure.
Yeah.
What's also interesting about you is that you're not just an athlete. Like, you're a business owner, you're a content creator. So I can imagine that balancing that whole life, all three of those like hats, right, has got to be pretty difficult.
Yeah, it totally is. I think that's my biggest challenge when it comes to all of this is there are so many things I want to do and so many things I want to get better at that I'm always joking, like, give me more hours in the day, and I hate sleep. So those are the things that get me in trouble the most.
Why do you hate sleep?
Because there's so many things I want to do, and I just need more hours to get them done.
How much do you sleep?
Oh, not enough. It's like, there are some days where we get out of the gym at like 7:30 p.m. and then I'm up coaching the 5 a.m. class.
What time do you go to bed at night?
Oh man, I've been trying to hit 10 p.m. But it's not fun when you have to wake up at 4 a.m. for the 5 a.m. class the next day. 23.
Yeah, she doesn't need sleep.
Yeah, you don't need sleep.
Immune.
But when you're doing all this strength training and everything, I mean, I get myself in trouble. Sometimes my body's like, ugh.
Yeah, that's a
23
lot.
years old. What's it like? So we've been impressed with some people lately with the work ethic, right? Like DJ Pauly D right there is a freaking workhorse. But 23 years old. When I was 23 years old, I was not running a business and making a bunch of content and trying to be a professional athlete. Can you guess what I was doing at 23 years old?
Were you a party animal?
I was just partying.
Yeah, party
Every
animal.
single day. Drug addict. Like,
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
I was a PA at 23.
You were. I mean, I ran a
Oh, no.
business actually at 23.
I was in PA school. I graduated when I was 24, so.
Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, great.
That's a long journey,
I feel
right?
like 23 is.
Yeah.
I was okay at 23.
Like,
I was partying,
PA
but.
schools, like, is that long? Like, that's pretty long. It can be pretty long.
4 years undergrad and then 2 years master's. But I went straight through. So I graduated college and then I started PA school within like
You
3 weeks.
hustled for a long time.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
I feel like when you're 18, 17, you think that like 22, 24 is like when you get your life together and shit, and like no one actually does that except for people like you guys.
Well, that's a funny thing is I think people look at my page and look at what I do and everything, and I joke all the time. I'm like, I think people think I have my shit together, and I'm like, I don't think anyone does. So it's definitely not me. It's not me. So if you guys think that.
I agree. Nobody has their shit together, right? No one. Like I say all the time, I'm guessing all the time. Like, my business does well now after I got rid of 2 business partners, but I'm always guessing. I never know what the next thing is. I just know what I feel like and how I feel I should do things. But at 23 years old, I think that's a really crazy perspective to have, and like it's interesting to say that you're an athlete plus a business owner plus you create content. You're just like seemingly pushing forward through everything. How do you, at 23 years old, what are your peers doing? What are your friends doing? People you grew up with?
So I live the gym life, right? I get to see, basically my friends are the folks that show up to our gym, and actually just recently, it's funny because Matt, my husband, we own the gym together and work together every day. We've been trying to push ourselves out of the gym more and like spend time outside of the gym, which is hard because it wears you down a little bit. But our good friends, like we get to see them every day at our workplace. So how awesome is that? Like you get to see your good friends every single day at your workplace and everything. But we do try to get outside the gym and everything. So it's a little bit of just like that. Like that's my life is I see my friends at the gym, and then when I'm done working, I go home and sleep.
Yeah.
Like that's what it's all about. It's just the hustle. It's the hustle of the gym life.
Yeah, I mean, did you always love that type of lifestyle? Or
Yeah.
do you have friends still from like high school? Or,
So I was my gymnastics background kept me homeschooled. Like I was very competitive in gymnastics, so that kept me homeschooled. And the only time I was in public school was high school. So I had some friends, but then they moved away for college and everything. But I was still doing CrossFit through high school. So it's still the folks that we have at the gym are like my people that I've grown up with and everything, and we've stayed there. So that's how it's kind of rolled.
okay,
Yeah.
got it. How are you balancing or managing or trying to balance work, training, all that? Because you're up at 4:30. Are you coaching class at 5?
We have one class that starts at 5. So there is at least one day, sometimes 2 times a week, depending on our coaching schedule, that I'm up that early, and then Matt has the other early mornings. So it's all just structuring out the day. You have to stay organized. That's why sometimes when we come to events like this and everything, it's fun to get out of the routine. I think I told you guys this. It's fun to get out of the routine, but it's also a little bit nerve-wracking because everything that I do is kind of like planned out, and I'm the person that'll put more than enough on their plate that if something gets moved around, I'm like, ugh. Like it's hard to get back on track, but I mean, I'm trying to learn to take that with a grain of salt and just be like not so hard on yourself in life. Like just roll with the punches and be ready to adapt just like we do in workouts and everything. So
Do you think go ahead.
I was going to just ask if you guys had other coaches or if it's just you and Matt.
Yeah, we have so Matt and I are the only full-time coaches at our gym. All of our other coaches have like other professions, but they love to coach on the side. So we actually have a good team with us, but we are the only full-time coaches. So we have the majority of the classes.
When did you and Matt meet?
So I've been at CrossFit Bolt has been open since 2011. I started there at 2013, and he's been coach and helping me just kind of chase my dreams and follow like everything that I wanted to do in this this world, just through the gym and everything. So 2013, and then I really started hustling hard at the gym when I graduated high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
What flipped that switch for you that made you want to become like a real legit athlete?
I started competing really early, and I thought I could be just having the background that I did and then having the just mindset that I did, that I love to just hurt in the world of CrossFit and everything and do workouts like that. I've always known I wanted to compete really hard and be one of the top athletes in it, but it wasn't until I decided, hey, I'm going to ride this crazy roller coaster of not go to college. I'm going to invest all in on this because it just feels like the right thing and where I want to be and need to be.
Yeah.
So after high school, I was like, I'm all in on this life, not only competing, but running a gym and living that gym life. And I was like, this is where I'm supposed to be. I really felt like that.
So you were running a gym at 18 too?
So I really started getting in. So Matt was like pretty much by himself and running the gym by himself all before that.
Okay.
And then I just wanted to learn. I thought when I was really, really young, when you were like, probably like I was 13, 14, 15, just the little kid with big dreams. I'm going to own my own gym and everything. And it's crazy where life takes you. And now I'm just still a part of the gym that I grew up at and everything. So when I graduated high school, I was like learning more of the back end of the gym and how it works and really helping out Matt, and just got us to where we are today, which the gym is busier than it's ever been. So
That's awesome.
that's really cool. Yeah, thank you.
So I think what's really cool that I'm hearing too is that you were a kid with dreams, and you're still a kid with dreams.
Oh yeah. Everybody still needs to be a kid with dreams.
Yeah.
Like,
But it's really easy, like especially in the world that we live in, to get caught up and be like, fuck it, I'll put them on hold. Or like we were talking yesterday, where a lot of people get complacent, right? And they just like, they're like, okay, the athlete thing might seem cool when they're 18. They're like, but I'm gonna go to college because it's a safe thing to do. I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna get a job, and then I'll chase my dreams after. And it like never happens because they just get complacent. They're like, oh, I'm happy. But I think that people mix up happiness and complacency together because like this isn't hard, so it must be good. Right? So 13, you have this dream to become a big athlete, own a gym, and all that stuff. How were you able to like hold on to the dream and keep it real? Keep the fire lit, Rebecca. Where do you put wood on it?
I think, I feel very lucky as it is. I know a lot of it is just I've always worked hard at what I wanted to do. I just love to work. That's part of my personality and everything. I think my family's like that. My dad's he's grew up in the medical field and everything, but he was always had this like side of him that was an entrepreneur and does what he wants and chases down like crazy things. Like just recently at 50, I don't even know when he started, but mid in his 50s getting his pilot's license and everything. So it's a little bit of craziness like that and everything. But I've also been blessed to be around people that have always encouraged me. My family's always encouraged me. The CrossFit community, the gym that I grew up in, they were always like very encouraging and felt like they always gave me hope to like keep pushing on, and it always just encouraged me, and it left me like feeling unstoppable a little bit. So I owe a lot of it to them, and then I just trust a lot of hard work. I know I always tell myself this, I was like, if there's one thing I can control, it's how hard I work.
Yeah.
That's it. Everything else is gonna happen the way it's supposed to, and as long as I stay in the grind and work hard and make sure it's something I truly want to do, I think it'll all end up the way it should.
So did your parents ever like want to push you to go to college, or were they all okay? They did.
Yeah. They were. So they weren't. It was more like not straight to my face, but when I grew up a little bit and things started settling into place, they were like, oh yeah, we were a little bit freaked out. Yeah, a little bit freaked out. But I have a big family. I have 3 other siblings. My older siblings went to college and everything, and I just told them like, I knew that wasn't for me. I wasn't going to be the party animal. I wasn't going to be, I just didn't, there was nothing that felt like I should have been there. It really wasn't, I think, getting away from the gym and getting away from those feelings like I really, really wanted to be in the gym life. It was going to make me unhappy. And my parents know me. They're like, Rebecca's just a plain old hard worker. I joke all the time. I don't think I'm the most talented athlete. I don't think I'm the most talented at any which thing, but if I want to be good at it, I'll work hard at it and long enough to where I can make something of it. So they trusted that, and I'm thankful that they did.
What, like, was that conversation hard to have with your parents, though?
So I say I didn't go to college, but I did a year and a half of community college in the local area. And they saw me working hard at that. But it was not getting me to anything that I knew I was going to be in the future. So when I told them, hey, I'm going to pause classes for a semester and just prove how hard I was going to work and how I was going to start putting things in place that I wanted to do, they could start seeing the same vision that I had. And I mean, I'm the person that'll work till they die. If it doesn't work out, like I'll keep working at it.
So, okay. So what was the thing that you were telling your parents so that you were going to work hard toward?
Oh, I just wanted to invest in the gym in Bolt, and which is our gym in Dallas, and just do more there. Not from just coaching. Like I started hustling hard on some personal training and everything, which really helped me get into a little bit more financial stability, because like as a young kid, you're like just trying to figure out how to make money. Like, what am I going to do with my life and everything? And it's, when you start out, it's just like, how do you make money and everything? And I was like, where is the big money in fitness and everything? And it's things like personal training, really encouraging people to just get healthy, not even just CrossFit. It wasn't just coaching CrossFit classes, because that's not everything. That's what I really enjoy doing, but it was also like getting individualized, getting into personal training and nutrition and stuff like this. So I started hustling hard on that, as well as learning how to run a small business.
Sure, yeah.
So it was like hands-on education, which is what I need. I'm not a bookworm.
Yeah.
I needed the hands-on stuff.
I'm the same way. Like, if you throw me in and I get the experience from it, I'm going to learn way more than just like reading the book. Or if I read the book, I also need to like put it to practice right away so I can see how it translates to the real world.
I also feel like there's a whole nother piece of this that you haven't talked about, which is your social media.
Oh, yeah.
Like, do you do all your editing? And
Yes.
Yeah. See, that's a lot too, because
Yes.
I see that with him and all the editing.
That's where I probably lose the most sleep. It's like editing takes forever. It's so fun. It's shooting the content. It's easy.
Yeah.
Editing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure y'all know this from all the podcast and everything. Yeah.
But your edits are way more difficult than the podcast, because it's actually interactive. Like, you're acting and you're like setting up different angles. You got to make sure that it like connects and it clicks. Because what I really fucked with on your videos, and I'm not just saying this like blow smoke, you do real cuts, like cinematic cuts, where it's on beats or like on the snare or something. I'm like, oh, Rebecca's got some creative in her.
I don't know where that came from. It was just like a vision. If I have a vision in my head, I'm like, this is the way I want it to look, and this is how. So this is another funny thing is I do have a professional media dude. I call him the media dude. This Gerard with Compete Media, and he does like, you can tell.
Cut that out.
You could, you can tell which things are done with professional cameras and everything, and not my phone.
Yeah.
But the first time I started getting into like doing my audios, doing just different angles and everything, and he goes, "How many shots did you take?" I go, "I don't know. I just had a vision in my head, and I was like, this angle, this angle, this angle." He's like, When do you do this? I'm like, in between lifts and everything.
Really?
Yeah, in between sessions. Sometimes I'll video all of my lifts and get them at different angles and then use it later for something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
because-
perfect.
Yeah.
Like
Everything is content.
Oh yeah, everything. That's why I was joking yesterday that I had my tripod in my bag, and
Yeah.
I'm like the influencer girl around here. You gotta own it though.
Yeah,
You gotta,
yeah.
You gotta own it.
You do.
Yeah.
And what's cool is like you're a legit athlete. You're not some broccoli-haired kid in like Gold's Gym carrying his camera around.
It's a balance, but even in the sport, this is what's crazy. In this sport, you beat yourself up mentally because you're pushing so hard in workouts. And that's just like how it is. That's how the sport rolls, is you're doing nasty workouts. And burnout is like the thing I'm most scared of. But I think doing all of this other stuff keeps me so balanced and level-headed and being like, my life is not this CrossFit workout.
Yeah.
It's going to be other things too.
Well, when you're done, whatever that means or whenever that is, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna have more things to fall back on too, right? Like, I see a lot of these athletes. I know we said we weren't going to talk much about CrossFit, but I see a lot of these athletes where I'm like, okay, so what happens when your career is done? What happens when you're not competing anymore? Like, Mal O'Brien, I think, has done a really good job at becoming like a personality too. You know, like she's just somebody who has these huge sponsorships. I can't even imagine what her contracts look like, but I don't think that she'll ever get dropped because she is also a personality, not just an athlete. Same thing for you.
Mm-hmm.
I think when you get like a huge Nike deal or something like that too, they're gonna be like, well, we're never dropping Rebecca because until she's 50, she's gonna be funny.
And she's gonna make some funny stuff on the internet.
Yeah, there's gonna be other things rather than just being an athlete. And
Right.
I mean, I've literally talked to Matt about that. I go, the day I retire from competing, because I've been competing my whole life, we have to be ready so I don't lose my sanity. I mean, and it's real. You see a lot of pro athletes go through that.
Yeah.
Of just when their sport is over, they're like, oh shoot, what's next? This is all I knew. Like,
Yeah, I think it's great. Like, I know your day-to-day life is hectic and hustling, but you have to have something outside of CrossFit.
yeah.
You know?
So, how old were you when you got married? You're so young.
We got married this year, so 23.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
How long have you guys been together?
You got that story, but we started dating in 2018, late 2018. Yeah.
It's been like 5 years. Cool.
Yeah.
Has he been like a real integral part of your life as far as like teaching you how to run a business and balancing all the different
Oh my
pieces of
gosh.
your life?
Yeah, yes, and it's funny because, like I said before, Matt was doing this a lot on his own. So I think when we came together and really started, I helped him. He was taking care of the gym, right? And he's such a sweetheart, love on everyone, pour everything he has into everyone, that it's the foundation that he built with the community and everything is unbreakable. But the business side of it didn't start happening until he had two brains to like work on this. So I kind of helped him like grow the gym in the business side. But the thing is we're still learning together. Yeah. That's why we're still babies and trying to like create this small business and make it into something bigger. And as far as like my athletic career, of course, Matt's an incredible coach, incredible programmer.
He's your coach?
Yeah, has a gift for programming, and I mean, I think it's next to none. So I'm a little bit biased, but yeah, he's got a gift for it.
What are some of the pieces that you believe that you brought to the table with him for business?
I'm mean.
You mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's what people don't get. As I'm a say it to your face person.
Yeah.
And you need a little bit of that, especially when you love your clientele in the CrossFit community. And that's the biggest hurdle we always go back and forth on is I love you. You're our friends. Like, we want to take care of you. We're one big family in here. But it's a business. Like, it's got to make money.
Yeah.
It's got to make money. And that's always going to be our hardest challenge, is taking care of the people, but also making sure the gym is getting what it needs to do. So keeping the standard there of being like, guys, this is how it's got to roll.
So what are like some of the obstacles that you saw or the challenges that you saw with that? For example, for me, with one of my business partners, our biggest thing was money. Like with one of them, I was like, dude, you can't give people free fucking months. Like, you can't do shit like that
like
just
that.
because they're your friends.
It's like that.
We have to make money, and if they're your friend, they should want to support you and not miss a payment by accident or whatever it is. Is it a similar?
That's exactly what it is. And especially Matt in his early years and everything, and we still do it, like, bend over backwards for your people.
Yeah.
Like, if you just are honest with us and say, hey, I'm struggling with this, like, that's what the gym is for. It's a safe place where we can come work hard, but we always want it to be there. And if it's not getting what it needs to be there, then none of us are going to have it. And it's little things like that. Like collecting payments is literally the hardest thing and the most uncomfortable thing you have to do. But I'm like, guys.
Like having the money talk?
Yeah, it's like that. And then it's a small business, so it goes through its ups and downs, and just learning how to ride the waves and take risks where you want to. Matt's more, I would say, is more conservative than me. Like we're both very, like, not big spenders and stuff like that, but you got to be able to take some risks sometimes, and kind of working together and be like, where do we want to kind of invest our money and our time, and is it worth it to try to push it forward and everything. So little things like that.
How much has your athletic career helped the business? Does that translate at all?
I used to be like try to stay low key and very humble about it and everything. But over the past few years, it's actually a mixture, like social media, what it looks like.
Yeah.
Like athletic career and what we've done on social media, because I try to make all my content very useful to people, not just post useless content out there, make you laugh, coaching videos, training videos, all this other stuff. So over the years, it has definitely brought lots of drop-ins in, lots of visitors in, and lots of people it put Bolt on the map a little bit in Texas. So that's been something we're proud of, because we have worked really hard. I used to be like, I don't think it's done too much, but it's definitely something to be proud of.
Yeah,
it's a lot of hard
sure.
work. It's a lot of hard work.
So, okay, I just have like one more thing that I kind of want to touch on with you, because yesterday you had mentioned something about haters or doubters in the space. Right?
Oh, he's trying to get my mean side out of me.
I don't care about that at all. What do you think is like, what's the number one critique that like hits you in the gut? You're like, fuck you, like.
There's kind of two things. Well, the biggest thing that people see based on like what the little bit that you can see on social media is that I'm not taking.
Okay.
Yeah. The biggest thing that you see a smidge of everything that I do on social media, right? It's like you see this much of people's lives, and people think I don't take one side seriously enough. And we talk about balance and everything and doing all that, but people say she's not serious enough to be a CrossFit Games athlete again, and that really like just lights a fire and everything. Yeah. And I'm like, guys, it's just balance. It shows that I'm having fun with what I do, and it's keeping me in a positive mindset and everything. And the other thing that goes into my competitive CrossFit career is I'm probably the smallest games athlete in the most recent years that's there. So my stature, my size has always been like, oh, she's not going to be strong enough. But a big part of my story and what I want to tell other people is, dude, we're all just human beings, and you have the ability to work hard and work with what you got, and you can make the most out of that, and don't let little things like that limit you, because, I mean, you can literally do whatever you want as long as you're willing to work for it. So people will say I'm a little bit too small. I'm a little bit too small to be competitive at the games, but I'm like, hey, if I can do it and other people can do it, like, all you got to do is work hard and just keep going for it.
Number one, who gives it? Like, why do people give a shit so much? Whether you're serious enough for their opinion of like going to the games. Right?
Well, I ask that all the time.
Like, it's almost like they are more butthurt about it than you could be.
I like to just think they're bought in. They're bought into the story. Maybe they're a little bit of a hater, but that helps me.
Do you like the hate?
I wouldn't say I like it, but everybody's got emotions that they deal with, and learning how to channel all of those emotions into the most encouraging thing, that's all you can do, right?
Yeah,
for sure.
That's the world of social media.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of good in it, and a lot of people don't like to deal with that, and I'm like, hey, I'm going to try to find the good and the encouraging sides of it.
How much of you is actually fueled by the naysayers, the doubters?
Not as much as people want to think.
Yeah.
People want to say, like it makes me so mad, and that's what's motivating me. No, what's motivating me is this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I think that's the healthy side of it.
Passion.
And there will be fuel to the fire by other comments and haters and doubts and everything, but that's like just a little bit extra boost. I think if you're doing this, especially in this sport, and wanting to hurt as bad as you do in this sport, it's got to be something you want to do.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's something that actually I didn't really come to terms with until as of late, where I was like, I hated the haters, where I'm like, I gotta prove everybody wrong about certain things, and I'm like, man, that's exhausting. Actually.
It is,
like
yeah.
trying to think about that, and like you said, being passionate about it and realizing, I'm motivated because I really love this thing is a lot more motivating, and will probably have more longevity to it, because you're not burnt out by constantly being like, I got to do one more set because this fucking person said whatever.
Yeah.
You could be set back or whatever, so
Yeah.
that's cool, dude. Well, hey, I really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, of course.
Amazing
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
Absolutely. Do you have anything that you want to plug to our way less followers than yours?
Oh, but they're different followers. I mean, this is why I love jumping on and meeting different folks with different podcasts and everything. But no, you can just find anything that I do on, most of what I do is on Instagram at Rebecca Fuselier. It's just my name. And then from there you can find, I have a YouTube channel where we do podcasts and other fun coaching tips and coaching training videos, vlogs. So the hub is Instagram, and then you can find everything from there.
Heck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
3
With
questions.
that, with that, I'm going to leave Heather with asking you the last 3 questions of the podcast.
Okay.
Are you ready?
So
Yeah.
this
I'm
is going to
scared.
be non-CrossFit related.
Okay.
So what is so I know we're at the end of 2023, but for 2024 or within the next 12 months, what is your biggest goal outside of CrossFit? Because I already know your CrossFit goal for next year.
Oh yeah, we know that one. It's always just make the CrossFit Games, and that's what everyone knows, right?
No, I want a non-CrossFit goal.
So business-wise and branding-wise, because this is how my brain runs, it's always like business, branding, sports,
Yeah.
athletics, the gym. I did say I wanted to make 6 figures through branding and sponsorships.
Nice.
So that's by just me, not through the gym or anything like that. I did want to do that because I am a little bit of a hustler entrepreneur on the side. I did write down that I wanted to buy so you guys learned that I bought a car. It's not a car.
Yeah.
So I wanted to buy my new car and make it my first big financial purchase. We went really big, so I actually hit that goal right before 2024 and ended up with a giant Hummer. So we can check mark that one. It's like a check mark and a half with how big it is and everything.
Put a panel on it that says Big Becca.
That's the license plates are coming. So
That's amazing.
So that was my family, and they're all in on it too. So guys, just have fun with it, whatever you do. And other than that, it's just like understand my priorities. Like my relationship with Matt is always first and foremost, because that's what fuels everything. So making more time for us is, I know, will pour into all the buckets that we're trying to fill up.
So this might be hard to answer. I think the second portion of it, we know the answer, but we always ask, what are you willing to sacrifice to reach those goals?
That is
Or that goal. I guess
that
your
is
6
hard
figures.
for me, personally for me, because I'm always like just adding things to my plate all the time. What would I sacrifice? Here, I'll answer it this way. I want to get better at saying no
Okay.
to, and this is kind of an honest, hard thing that I think a lot of people go through, is just like trying to please everyone, and we're people pleasers, and it's almost like saying no to other things that don't pour into the moments, that whether it's like, I've always, as an athlete, I've always said no to things like additional, like partying, hanging out outside of the gym, but it's also like, I don't know if it's prioritizing what is really going to fit into my goals, and not being afraid to say no to, I don't know, just miscellaneous, like, people-pleasing things.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah. I know that I can't get too specific with that, but it's just those moments where I feel obligated to do something. I think because you have such big goals and everything, like, I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, but
Yeah.
and I think we all go through that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Sacrifice the people pleasing.
Yeah.
And then the follow-up question, which I think you kind of already touched on, is what are you not willing to sacrifice?
Relationship.
Yeah.
That's first and
That's
foremost. That's everything to me. And then anything that I am not willing to sacrifice, my personal goals and dreams, because that's who you are.
Yeah.
That's exactly who you are, and you can't give that up.
Heck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Love it.
Cool.
Awesome. Well, hey, Rebecca, thanks so much for being on the
Yeah,
pod.
thank you.
Yeah.
Maybe one day we'll get a ride in your Hummer.
Yeah, we're gonna bring it to competition, so we'll just be lugging people around in there. That'd be awesome.
We can do a podcast in the
When we
back.
when we come for the CrossFit Games this year, since you guys live right there, we'll
I
drop into your
know.
gym and know if you're there and not based
it
on your
close?
Hummer.
Crazy. It's like 20-30 minutes, like the Dickies Arena. Yeah, from us.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
crazy.
She won't be there at all.
She'll be training.
actually-
That's the plan.
So it'll actually be parked at Dickies Arena, probably.
That's what I'm saying. That's gonna be the crazy thing is we're getting the gym plans ready to go because I know we're gonna have lots of visitors, lots of people dropping in, and we're planning on making it a big open gym. Like
I have
want you guys there.
friends that owned Big Dane. I don't know if you went there when the
I
games
heard
were
of
in
it.
Madison. So they're good friends from college and they own it, and their gym it blew up while the games were in Madison.
Yeah.
So.
It's gonna be. We're excited for that. A
should
little
be.
bit scared, but excited
Doing a
for
lot
it.
of activations there. Like, are there going to be brands that come and set up?
I haven't talked to any of like my current sponsors or anything. I know we're gonna keep it pretty open, and we just got to help get our coaching staff organized and be like, hey, guys, we're gonna have to.
They're gonna come. They're gonna come to you.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit crazy, but it's gonna be crazy in the most awesome way ever. So we'll definitely be letting folks know like what's going on at Bolt.
Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, hey, good luck at WADA. Good luck during the open season. And we'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Like, subscribe, do all that. Follow on Instagram. You guys know what to do. Thanks for watching.
That was awesome, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.